What's up guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are installing the new dual core radiator, the radiator support, and water pump on the Corvette. Now I just got done this morning with the clutch install. That was a giant endeavor. I should have the video out here pretty soon, hopefully before this one. So yeah, and I do apologize for the fan noise, but it is pretty hot, so I apologize, but that's gonna be a thing. Let's get into it. So we've got ourselves a 2-core radiator from ECP Engineered Cooling Products. As far as I know, they are a Corvette only radiator company. They make them through all the generations from C1 all the way up to C7. And I'm not sure if they make them for the C8 yet. I got a stock LS3 water pump for now and thermostat. And then we've got the upper and lower radiator hoses from Mishimoto. I really want to do the entire set, but we'll worry about that later when we do the cam swap and all that over the winter. As you guys can see, I got the air bridge off. It wasn't really that hard because the tabs are broken, so that's fun. And with that being said, that leads us to our problem with the radiator support itself. I've always thought that this looked pretty bad. This thing's pushed it at an angle. The radiator fan's basically smashed into the ABS block. It's just not sitting too well. So once we get under there, I'll go ahead and show you guys. So I'm gonna start by draining the coolant. We're just gonna go ahead and down here where the stock radiator plug is. I already broke it free. So then you just start turning it. And it runs right there. I think it's really nice, doesn't make a huge mess. So we'll go ahead and let that run out. Coolant's completely drained. That only took forever. Now I just need to get this air dam out of the way, and then we can start getting the radiator support down and out. As far as I know, the radiator, all this will just kind of stay in place. Okay, so we've got a 10 right here, a 10 right here on the other side, and then we've got 3 7s. 1, 2, and 3. Now those are removed. You're gonna have 2 body clips right here, so either take a flathead or the prong looking body tool, pop those out, and then you got 2 more on this side. Once you get those last 4 body clips out, you can go ahead and pop it out. I'll show you guys what else there is real quick. What I'm assuming is a temp sensor for the outdoor temp. I'm not quite sure, but either way, there's a sensor right there on the bottom side. And then I was actually missing them, but it looks like there's 2 more body fasteners or something that should be in that place. So yeah, just know that when you're going, if you haven't purchased yet or you're looking to purchase, look under the car. I didn't. I mean, I still would have bought the car, but at least just for peace of mind, go ahead and check under there, make sure that's not all bashed up. Because I know a lot of guys try to pick the car up by this bar too, and it just won't handle the weight of the car on it if you try and lift it up with a jack. Or like in my case, the guy just ran into a curb or something awesome. Okay, so I got up under there and realized that there's a wiring harness for your fog lights, headlight, and then marker light right here. Instead of fighting with it, trying to get your hand there, I just went ahead and removed the inner fender real quick. There's 7 of these clips holding it in, and then she'll come right out. Got the harness up out of the way, just have it sitting on the end of the tie rod. And then right here, you can see where it's, yeah, that's broken. It looks like there's just 2, like everything on this car, 13mm bolts holding it on each side. Same goes for the other side. So I'm gonna get these out, and hopefully the radiator doesn't drop. Radiator didn't fall. Random shots of the parts, yay! So before I started to install this and compare it to the old one, I just went ahead and got a shot of it for the Instagram and probably the thumbnail, but get you guys a quick little look. Back to the busted radiator support. So yeah, we've got broken weld there. Pretty good wow right there. It does have a little bit of a bend, but not that much of a bend. And then this piece over here is completely just broken off. There's like some shitty spot welds. I don't know, they look like they're little tack welds and they did not hold. So yeah, that piece is still on the frame of the car. Looks like we're gonna have to take the horns off, which is awesome. Well, this part's awesome is there's nut certs on this already. I was a little worried when I saw that. I wasn't sure if this was gonna have them, but this one does. I'm really happy with this. Real quick before I forget, also you're going to want to transfer these tabs over. and then you'll be good to go. Alright, she's all in. That thing fit perfectly. Like, that was crazy. I was expecting to have to mess with it, maybe bend a few tabs or something. No, that just went in perfectly. Radiator lines up awesome. I just have the harness hanging right here because I will be removing the bumper, the fenders, and the headlights. So I'm going to leave the inner fender out right here. So yeah, this job's done right now. Look how much better that looks. There's actually a gap between the radiator and the fan and the ABS block. It's crazy. It's nice and straight. All right, let's get the radiator out. Okay, we got the fan out. 10mm bolt holding that in, and 10mm bolt holding that side in. Disconnect the harness. There is the wiring harness that goes across the front of the engine that goes right there. Just take the prongs, pop it off, good to go. The crossover line sits right there and right there, and then on this side over here. So these lines right here, this line that goes across. As you guys can see, this one's broken. I broke the T right here. I did that during the underdrive pulley install. Yeah, so that was a thing. I was actually going to show it in this video, but I don't understand why they keep using these plastic T's from factory. But I thought Lowe's or Home Depot would have one. They don't, so I bought a barbed end T. It's 3/8, 3/8, and then 1/4 inch. But yeah, that snapped right off. So coolant line's disconnected. Has these crappy OEM clamps. We'll get rid of those when we replace the hoses. So go ahead and get the radiator out now. We got this upper line right here disconnected. I got the lower radiator hose disconnected. I just went ahead and disconnected it from the water pump. It's a lot easier than trying to get to that clamp down there. It's going to be a bit of a pain. I have a 6-speed, so I don't have the transcooler line that will tie in down there in the radiator. So unfortunately, this is not automatic. I apologize for you automatic guys. It'll be in that general vicinity right there to remove the cooler lines. Over here, I kind of slid it up over because this was not budging at all. I slid it up over out of the tabs on that side first, and then now we can, yeah, the tabs are, it's sliding free out of the tabs now. So people say apparently that you need to remove the AC condenser. I don't think so. I'm just going to kind of slide it out of the tabs, and then we can hopefully just pull the radiator up and out. Oh no! Don't trust that it's empty because it dumped coolant all over my foot and the floor. But yay, it's out! That thing is rough looking. Look at that. She's a little deer tay. Get a little side-by-side comparison here. Yeah, this thing looks like I sucked a cat up in there. I don't know what that is. I don't really want to touch it. But yeah, this thing is obviously much prettier. It's got all the stock tabs. I'm hoping it's not going to be a giant pain trying to get it in with the condenser there. We'll go ahead and find that out here shortly. But just go ahead and take these little rubber donuts, swap them over, and then be good to go. And I'll be getting going on the water pump. I can't really get a good camera angle on it, on the water pump removal, but once I get it out, then I'll go ahead and show you guys the bolts, just in case you guys haven't seen it before. Our water pump is out. 3 10mm bolts on this side, and then just 3 10mm bolts on this side. Comes right off the front of the engine. And then 10 more millimeters for the water net, because the new water pump did not come with one, so I get to put this crusty one on there. New thermostat right there. I am not taking the tensioner pulley because I got one from Hawk Performance. This thing is awesome. Super fast shipping. Nice billet piece here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that mounted up right there. Comes with these spacers. New gasket kit. Want to get you guys a quick comparison real quick. This thing, it's like, I have to turn it pretty hard right there. She doesn't want to spin that free. That spin was alright, but yeah, that's, you can tell there's resistance on there, and that's robbing horsepower, guys. So, it's probably not that lot, but it's just unnecessary tension, and that thing spins great. There's no grab at all, nice and smooth. I was losing a bit of coolant, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it was coming out the weep hole here. Same thing happened with my truck. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It was actually coming out the weep hole, and then if you don't pay attention or if you don't notice it in time, that'll just cut loose when that bearing goes bad, and it'll just dump coolant everywhere. That's what happened to me in the truck, left me stranded. But yeah, this thing only has about 80,000 miles on it, so if you're around that range or higher, I would definitely look into it. Water pump is in. So for the 6 water pump bolts, the first torque spec is 11 foot-pounds. Go around, do that, and then you finish it off with 22 foot-pounds of torque. And then I did realize once I got this on here that these spacers right here are actually probably meant for the truck to kick it out a little further. It was just sticking out too far. So I went ahead and had to pillage the bolts that were holding in the original belt tensioner on the old water pump, and they fit just perfectly. All right, let's get the radiator in. And she's in. That was super easy. That just dropped right in. The AC condenser that's on there really well. This thing's in there really well, actually. This dropped right in. I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but that thing went in so much easier than the stock one coming out. And then I am amazed with the fitment on there. It dropped right in. Like I said, remember to put the rubber grommets in there or it will just clack around and all that. So yeah, I am very impressed with this whole setup with the radiator and the radiator support. All right, fan shroud is in. That just dropped right into place like factory. Has the 2 10mm bolt spots for it, holds it right in place. And then I got the Mishimoto silicone hoses in, the upper and the lower one. These fit perfectly, like they're meant for the car. It's great. I'm really happy with them. These will hold a lot of heat and they work well in the winter too. Not that I drive it too much in the winter, but that's good to know. I am waiting, like I said, on that brass fitting. So as soon as that gets in, I'm gonna drop that in there. Just know it's probably a good idea to swap that out. But yeah. I am very impressed with the everything. The radiator, very impressed with. The radiator support, all that. Everything worked out really well, actually. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and call this good. That's a win for me. I still obviously gotta get coolant in there, put a few things back together, but I've got a few things that I've got planned that I need to take care of first. So I'm gonna call this video done. Like I said earlier, I do apologize. I wasn't able to film more of me working. I'm actually running low right now on card space. So I hope you guys learned something. If you guys have any questions, as always, comment below. I cannot wait to get this thing on the track. We got the coilovers, we got the wide body, we got a bunch of stuff coming up, big brakes, all that. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great night.